How's everybody doing? It's yours truly, Mr. Teleferro. It could be by tomorrow. It could be by the end of next week. It could be in 10 days. It could be this summer. It could be by the next NBA trade deadline. Or it could be by summer 2020, all right? Who knows? At some point, though, in the near future, the New Orleans Pelicans are going to lose their superstar player in Anthony Davis. What is he giving you right now? At the age of 25, he's giving you 28 points and 13 rebounds a game. That'll land you top 5 in both of those categories. He's long, lengthy. He's even developed a decent three-point shot. He can affect the game at the defensive end of the court. He can literally change a game by just block shots. He can score 0 points and still impact the basketball game. That's just how great he is. New Orleans blew it. You see, a lot of times, I have a lot of sympathy for small market teams. I'm from Memphis. My city is a small market team. Not a Memphis Grizzlies fan, but I mean, I lived in Memphis and went to a lot of games in my life. By default, when the Lakers ain't playing, I'm rooting for Memphis, right? I'm always rooting for Memphis. So, in regards to the Memphis Grizzlies, sometimes I feel bad for them. Sometimes I don't. Because I know ownership mistakes when I see them. And when you're a small market team like the Memphis Grizzlies are, and like the New Orleans Pelicans are in comparison to the NBA, right? Because New Orleans is not a small city, but in regards to the NBA, it's only 30 teams. It's much smaller than markets like Los Angeles. Los Angeles has 2 teams, right? All those teams on the West Coast, bigger markets than a city like Memphis or in a city like New Orleans. So you look around, and obviously with Hurricane Katrina, that set the city back years. So that you find a way back from that. You finally get decent. You even win a playoff round last year. And you blow it. As an organization, you blow it. Something happened to me last summer that it's one of the most compelling storylines and one of the most interesting shock factors I've seen in an offseason. Again, Pelicans win a playoff round against the Portland Trailblazers. Surprise everybody. And that not only do they win the round, they dominated the Portland Trailblazers. But what do they do to reward the team? DeMarcus Cousins, he tore his Achilles in February. He tore his Achilles on the basketball court, giving it all for his team. He's injured. He tells the team, my timeline to return, worst case, next February or March. He works his behind off. He even gets back earlier. Everybody who knows DeMarcus Cousins know he loves the game of basketball. He's back by January. Wouldn't the Pelicans mind having DeMarcus Cousins right now? You think Anthony Davis and his agent Rich Paul would have came out and made a statement today had he had DeMarcus Cousins back in Atlanta? Remember, the Pelicans, they got it going after Cousins got out, with injury. But even when Cousins was playing, like that month of January, the Pelicans were starting to figure it out on the court. That's why Cousins and Davis were both named all-star starters, right? They were both voted in by the fans, players, and media. They were figuring it out as a team before Cousins went down, right? So you think Anthony Davis would have came out and made a statement and made a demand of a trade like that if he's next to Cousins? You don't think Cousins could have talked them out of it at least to this summer? Y'all don't believe that? I do. It's my opinion. Add to that, Rajon Rondo. These are veterans. These are guys that have respect around this league, right? Rajon Rondo, respect the guy around this league. You don't got to like him. You don't got to love him. You could hate him, but you respect him. You respect his game and what he gives to the game of basketball when he's on the court. Rondo literally, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Rajon Rondo and Jrue Holiday literally destroyed Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum in the playoffs. Because I've been somebody who's been pretty critical of Jrue Holiday. To me, he's not lived up to his expectations. And I want to give Jrue Holiday some credit. This season, he's averaging 20 points and 8 assists. It's still not enough impact. Not enough impact to me. Because he's getting paid. He's actually getting paid the highest amount on that team right now. He's making about $25.9 million a year. That's more than what Anthony Davis is by a few $100,000. That's not enough. 20 and 8 is cool. And it's an improvement from where he was in the past. It's just not enough impact. We talk about Anthony Davis and sometimes his production not translating to wins. Well, what about this other max player we got on our roster? Jrue Holiday. When is there any culpability? When does he get any responsibility for this team not meeting up to their expectations? He gets none. He flies under the radar. We have sympathy for him. His wife was sick, and I send nothing but prayers and love to her. We have sympathy for Jrue Holiday. Okay. He still ain't to me, he still ain't met expectations. Outside of that one series against the Portland Trail Blazers, he ain't met his expectations to me for the money that he's making. You lose Rajon Rondo. And it was a $9 million offer that the Lakers ended up paying Rondo, and the Pelicans couldn't match it. Alongside paying Jrue Holiday $25.9 million, they're paying Solomon Hill. When was the last time you heard the name Solomon Hill? $12 million. $12 million for Solomon Hill. He's averaging 4 points a game. And because of his contract, and maybe even E'Twaun Moore's, and I like E'Twaun Moore. He can hoop. But you're paying him $8.5 million, something along the lines of that. And you're losing him for Rondo? New Orleans, I'm sorry. You should have made a move to get rid of E'Twaun Moore or Solomon Hill. That excuse that you guys put in the atmosphere about how y'all didn't have the financial capabilities of re-signing Rajon Rondo and matching the Lakers 1 year, $9 million after the playoff performance that Rondo had, and how he was able to get the ball to Anthony Davis. And it just seemed like Anthony Davis loved playing Rondo, a guy whose sole responsibility was to put people in the best position to win. I don't have any sympathy for the New Orleans Pelicans. I have no sympathy at all. A terribly ran organization. You traded for DeMarcus Cousins. You traded a guy of the future, Buddy Hield. They traded Buddy Hield, who anybody with eyes can see. In my mind, Buddy Hield's potential is higher than Jrue Holiday's. Look, you put Kevin Durant in front of Jrue Holiday. I mean, literally, he's probably one of the toughest defenders on Kevin Durant. I don't know what it is, but Jrue Holiday just defends Kevin Durant really, really well. Outside of that, just not consistent enough for me. Literally, to me, you can tell with your eyes that Buddy Hield's going to be a better player than Jrue Holiday. Has anybody watched any Sacramento Kings basketball this year? They're better. Buddy Hield's averaging 20 points a game. That's what Jrue Holiday's giving you, by the way. Buddy ain't making $25 million, right? He's literally averaging 20 points a game. He's shooting that three ball at a 46% clip in a league where the three-point line is pretty much where it's at. It's your bread and butter right now. You traded Buddy Hield, that type of talent. Traded him for DeMarcus Cousins. And you allowed DeMarcus Cousins to walk with nothing. DeMarcus Cousins comes to you guys. Reportedly said, I want 2 years, $40 million. He could have got max money, but he was like, I get it. I'm a big guy. I'm coming off of an injury that has ended a lot of careers. I'll take a discount. 2 years, $40 million. And by the way, let's make it clear. You can re-sign a guy that you got his bird rights. They had his bird rights and even go into luxury tax. They didn't want to do that against small market. It is what it is. But then the second time, reportedly Cousins comes back to you and says, okay, y'all ain't gonna give me 40 mil. Nobody's really interested in me. I just want to play for a few months and get my worth back up. Can I get 10 mil a season from you? A player option on the second year? Hell, I'll even do a team option on the second year. Nope. We ain't doing that. Nope. Damn, can I get $5 million a year? Can I get the mid-level exception for a year? Nope, we're not doing that. We want to move on. So you allowed a guy that you traded your top prospect outside of Anthony Davis and Buddy Hield for, and you let him walk for nothing. Couldn't even do a sign and trade and make somebody get interested in him? A guy that's average, what is DeMarcus Cousins, 25 and 12 for his career? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. The New Orleans Pelicans are not in a position to just allow a talent like DeMarcus Cousins to just walk. Injured or not, guys are not running through the door to play for the New Orleans Pelicans. And y'all thought it was a good idea to just let him walk? The New Orleans Pelicans can just let 25 and 12 walk out the door, even on one leg. One leg of 25 and 12 from DeMarcus Cousins is better than 2 legs, 4 points a game from Solomon Hill. Even if he never became the player that he once was, you're paying Solomon Hill $12 million a year. You're paying Jrue Holiday $25.9 million a year. And you didn't think it was smart to give DeMarcus Cousins the discounted offer that he made to you guys? What are we doing here? How can you feel sorry for an organization like this? This is dumb. And y'all mad at Anthony Davis for wanting out? Y'all lucky he ain't told y'all he ain't never playing a game for this crappy ass organization ever again. Yo, they wouldn't even pay DeMarcus Cousins. They traded for DeMarcus Cousins right after the day they had the All-Star game. Matter of fact, the Sunday night, I remember it, they had the All-Star game in New Orleans. They go get ballsy and make one of the biggest moves in franchise history. Trade for DeMarcus Cousins. He gets injured, playing his heart out for you guys. He says how much he's thankful to be on his team. A superstar that, a borderline superstar that wanted to be in New Orleans, right? Because he wanted to be in Sacramento. He's a loyal guy. He would have never left New Orleans. That's not his personality. He loves when people want him. That is DeMarcus Cousins' personality. And y'all trade him for nothing. And y'all mad at Anthony Davis. Oh, man. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Telefaro. Mr. Telefaro.
Mr. Telefaro. Mr. Telefaro. Shout out to Mr. Telefaro.
You're watching Mr. Telefaro TV.
Mr. Telefaro TV. Here with the Triple B's. You can't do nothing but win.